Alright, today we're going to be covering certain comments that James White has made about me on his show, The Dividing Line. He seemed to examine the debate I had with Turton Fan and seemed to disapprove of the way I responded to the cross-examination, as well as to add a few comments here and there. It seems like he wasn't fully satisfied with Turton Fan's performance as well. He goes on by saying, I would have said, or I would have asked, well, Mr. White, the debate has nothing to do with you, so it doesn't really matter what you would have said. But touching him on the topics that Mr. White, and when James responded in an email to me notifying me he was going to be commenting on the debate, I had a feeling he was going to nitpick little things like this. He points out his displeasure with me not agreeing to calling God being during the cross-examination, but he fails to understand exactly why I did not. But indeed, if you listen to the cross-examination, I say God is three persons, all are God. God is three persons in one. I say being can be interpreted in an orthodox as well as a unorthodox manner. And I clear that up in my closing by stating that God is the means of all being. In that sense, God can be referred to as a being, but God cannot be referred to as a being in the sense of a created being. Turton Fan did not make the distinction, and as such, it was a sloppy question. James seems to ignore that. He goes on by saying, oh, well, you don't understand the doctrine of the Trinity, ha 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 ha, you're out of your element, ha 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 ha. Typical James White fashion to demean people he disagrees with. It really doesn't matter to me. James really has never been able to post meaningful responses to anything that I've done in regards to the work he's done. I really could care less what he has to say on this topic or what his opinion about me is. He seems to have a pretty good dislike for me because I'm really good friends with Steve Ray. I really don't care. James White continues in emailing in the emails that we're sending back and forth to each other, claiming I don't know the doctrine of the Trinity, but indeed James White seems to not be aware of the videos I've done on YouTube and a few of the debates that I've done. He is unaware of the fact that I've gone back and forth with a Oneness Pentecostal group, New Birth Radio, and you can find these videos that are over a year old on my YouTube site, as well as an MP3 correspondence I had with a few individuals that follow that organization. And indeed, we do debate the Trinity. Over and over, I've debated the Trinity. I've done the show that I did today's Greek word, a study on the Trinity. I've done it over and over. Videos in the Trinity that are way over a year old. Some are close to 2 years old. And yet James still says that in this debate against Turton Fan, I don't understand what the Trinity is. It's things like that that try to demean people that disagree with you. I think James White needed to do some damage control by responding to this debate because Turton Fan didn't do so well in this debate. So James White needed to do his best to come out and try and put me down as best as he can. You know, hey, put him in the dividing line. Let's cover it. Let's try and put him down as much as we can. Well, I think the debate stands for itself. I'm not going to go back to the debate and say, yo, you know, I wish I would have said this, or oh, you know, I wish I could have said this or that. The debate can stand for itself. After I debate, I don't need to go back and add anything to the end or anything. Debates should be able to stand for themselves. And if James White needs to come out defending Turton Fan because he thinks that he needs to do some damage control, well, that's up to James. You know, that's James' prerogative. It doesn't really bother me, and it doesn't really cause me to lose any sleep. I just find it quite interesting that James maybe he didn't listen to a few of the arguments I put forth. And once more, I don't think James understood the force of the argument in the Gospel of Luke, but in my next video I will be covering the first chapter of the Gospel of Luke and the term kurios, which is indeed when Elizabeth refers to Mary as the mother of my Lord, is indeed in reference to the deity in Mary's womb. Something that James really did not want to touch upon. He skirted around the issue, and instead it's what an apologist does when they realize they can't answer a question. What they'll do is they'll comment on it. They'll say, oh, you know, it's a possibility, but oh, look, he doesn't know what the Trinity means. And if you notice, that's a clear tactic James White focuses on. And as such, it's a worthless argument that I really don't find any substance in. And who knows, maybe James White simply didn't understand the point I was trying to make. It's all right, I understand. Just want to clarify a few little details here and there, and hopefully James and I can come to an understanding in this. I have nothing against James White, and I look forward to further corresponding with him. Thank you. God bless.